community organization with over 1,100 individuals. And I guess, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Soho is well known as an arts community, and it was the actual plexus of where the artist vendors first arrived. And although many of us are firm believers in the First Amendment, at our executive committee and a subsequent meeting of artists, we figured, as Marshall McLuhan said, art is anything you can get away with. And how do we find enforcement? We were part of a plaintiff with the city in opposition to the current law in Soho that permitted First Amendment privileges to expressive art, because frankly, how does a policeman know what is art when art critics do not know? For instance, if a policeman walks down West Broadway and sees a Robert Mapplethorpe, a work of art, of a crucifix in urine, what's he going to do? He's not only going to not consider that art, but probably arrest the artist in obscenity. The same policeman will walk down and see Elvis on Black Velvet, or the dogs playing poker. So that's art. Well, that's my kind of art. So how do we define this? In fact, we can. And the courts have given us really no clear definition of what we can get away with and what we cannot. So therefore, to maintain some sort of regularity and regulations, sanity, and appropriate behavior on our public sidewalks, we need some sort of regulation. You cannot scream, you have First Amendment right, but not just scream fire in the theater. No, you sell art in the middle of Times Square, you know, the intersection. So there are regulations on art. So I would suggest that this legislation that's proposed is appropriate, it's content neutral, and it does provide some sort of regulation. For instance, there are at least 10 to 20,000 artists in New York City. At minimum, I think we have 10% of them right here. Should we have all of them in the parks? It's an untenable situation. So I highly recommend that we pass the legislation. It's content neutral. And just look what happened to Soho now, because the cops do not know what is art. So now you have peddlers selling chatskas, t-shirts, junk, and they're calling it art. The police don't know. The courts are overburdened. Nothing's going to happen. It's just going to get worse. So I strongly recommend that this legislation be adopted. Thank you very much.